So, today we're doing one of your picks. This weapon has been requested a lot over the last few months, and I saw it requested again on yesterday's video. I'm of course talking about the one and only Battacor. This is a very cool Master Ranked and Primary that fires a 2-round burst, but it's an auto burst, so if you hold down the fire button it keeps firing the burst over and over and over again with a bit of a delay in between each burst. Now the primary burst mode does mostly magnetic damage, but it still has a nice chunk of puncture with a 32% crit chance, 2.4 times crit multi and an 18% status chance. But there's also a secondary fire mode which is charged up by getting kills with the primary. Once you get 3 kills you can fire out a massive laser which does pure radiation damage. This sports a 34% crit chance, a 3 times crit multiplier and an 8% status chance. Now the blueprint for the Battacor is available from the Tenno lab in your dojo, and to build it you're gonna have to put in 25,000 credits, 10 field drone, 40 Tip nodules, 25 hard to knock to roll and then 20 Tromizon entroplasma. So let's give this mama jamma a shot and see what it do, shall we? This weapon has a really cool set of damage stats because magnetic puncture just invites a corrosive cold build, right? Because you get the corrosive and cold which strips armor and adds crit damage, and then you get puncture for crit chance and magnetic for over. Oh my god, is that that's the pain of almost everything. Wowee, how many of you remember this ribbon? Blimey. Let's start off, as always, with an adapter, galvanized chamber. I think we're gonna go, well, definitely aptitude. I think it's actually multiplicative because the primary burst mode is a projectile, and I think we're gonna go with galvanized scope because open is fairly accurate and the projectiles are pretty fast. Oh, we could actually go with frostbite. I was thinking deadhead instead, but frostbite sounds heavenly here. This will require serration though, especially since I'm pretty sure aptitude is multiplicative. Vital sense for some crit damage. And let's actually move the V up top to clean this up a little bit, otherwise this is going to be an absolute mess. There we go. Voltage, malignant force, and cold rhyme rounds. This could be very cool. Vigilante supplies would be very good for the set bonus. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Let's put in a forma and vigilante supplies. There we go. A D for aptitude. And then whapam. Where is it? No. Where is it? Ah, bigger Snickers. There we go. Need to give it Hellstrom though. There we go. Because we have vigilante offense, armaments, and fervor. And this works for your primary as well, so we actually have a 4-piece set bonus for our primary, as well as some other stuff. Let's not forget to take out Avenger this time. This feels very good. Beam good as well. I'm liking this. The damage is tremendous as well. Yeah, look at that. That's awesome. Though maybe fire rate would be nice. I don't know how we would fit it in outside of Warframe abilities, but I feel like fire rate would be good. I just want to try it. Speed trigger. There we go. We can even fit it in. Interesting. So it definitely feels better, but not by as much as I thought it would. It's better, but not by that much. Back to rhyme rounds we go. Ah, this is such a nice feeling rifle. It has just the right amount of kick to feel good but not be obnoxious. The damage is great, the projectile speed is good. And you have a cool secondary, look at that! Big laser beam. Awesome sauce. I could get used to this. This is well good. I honestly don't know why it took me so long to do the Battacor. For some reason, I remember it as being a very sort of mediocre rifle. I don't know why. If I knew I would enjoy it this much, I would have done it sooner. Something hindsight. Hello, violence. This should actually be pretty good for acolytes. Let's see. Ooh, tremendous. What about a beam? Not quite as good. The beam is actually doing less than I thought it would. I'm far more impressed by the burst fire than the beam. I would almost say that the beam is somewhat disappointing, but then again, it doesn't have a lot of status and we're building for hybrid. Maybe if you build for more raw damage, then the beam performs slightly better. The fact that it fires a 2-round burst actually helps a lot here because you get so much more status from it. Ooh, and the magnetic, look at that. That's just a cherry on top of a very lovely cake. Time to bullet the shield boys once again. I knew this was gonna be good, right? The shield boys are already pretty weak, and when you add magnetic into the mix, it's just... The beam is just... I'm not impressed by the beam at all. Yeah, that's the most disappointing thing about this weapon. The beam with a hybrid setup that actually benefits the primary fire or works well with the primary fire, it just doesn't do much. Maybe I'm being too harsh on the beam. It does add a nice chunk of AoE. This is one of the reasons why I adore this series as well, because you guys recommend all kinds of weapons and then I play with them and I realize that I like them and now I have new weapons that I can play with. It's just so cool. Oh, this is actually very good because we get to try it against the grineer and a bunch of eczema so you can see the magnetic in action. Now, just in case you don't know, magnetic isn't just good against shields, it increases damage down to overguard. So as you can see, their overguard just melts almost instantly. That's a hacked MOA. I'm not used to running around with my own MOA because it hacks everything it sees. But yeah, look at that. The overguard just doesn't matter. I like this so very much. Malise! My dude, I haven't seen you in such a long time. Can we kill Malise before he bubbles us up? Let's find out. Beam and... Oh, that's good damage. That's good. Oh, careful now. Almost, though. Almost got him down. There we go. Malise, please stop. Sit down. And that, as they say, is that. So let's do the thing. So here is a relatively basic build for the Battacor. It's running galvanized stuff, but other than that, it's nothing too spectacular. However, it fits it really well. It's terrific. We run Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Galvanized Scope for crit chance, Vital Sense for crit damage, Serration for base damage, then a combination of Rime Rounds, Malignant Force and High Voltage for corrosive damage, code and a bunch of status, and then Galvanized Aptitude for status damage and Multiplicative Condition Overload on the primary burst fire. We also have Vigilante Supplies in the Exiles, not for the ammo mutation, but for the set bonus instead, and for the Arcane we're running Primary Frostbite, which on a cold proc gives us extra crit damage and multi-shot. If, however, you don't have Frostbite, you can easily run Deadhead and then replace Serration with something like Hammershot or Bladed Rounds. Then, since this is a corrosive setup, it's always nice to have Emerald Archon shards for more maximum corrosive proc, so you can strip the enemy armor completely with corrosion alone, though this is not as good as it was prior to the Jade update, so if you don't have them, it's not a big deal. And finally, we have the pet. You can either go for a good priming pet because of the Multiplicative Condition Overload, or you can go for a pet that can run a weapon and use the 3 Vigilante mods, because these are added to the set bonus that we get from Vigilante Supply, so we actually get a 4-piece set bonus on our primary, even though we run 3 of them on our pet. This was a very pleasant surprise. The Battacor does great damage, it feels good, and it's a lot of fun to use. So yes, I would absolutely recommend you give this weapon a shot. It's great. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for this series, no matter how silly they are, usually the sillier the better, you can leave them in the comment section down below. And then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.